backyard, and that kind of crystallized this whole movement. So it's becoming more popular. You can see it in different parts of the country. You can look at Minneapolis, which has been really progressive, I guess you would say, in the way it's now letting people build multifamily or multi-structure dwellings in single-family neighborhoods. Do you think the fabric of communities in this country is likely to change as a result of this, or is this just unique to the Bay Area and some of California's wackiness, so to speak?
I do not think that the single-family home neighborhood is going to be a relic of the past, but I think that it will be more rare. Minneapolis, as you noted, became the first major city in America to essentially get rid of single-family only zoning. And they're going to allow people to build it's not super intense, it's not 5-story buildings, but you could build 3 units on any lot, right? But if you look at all the Democratic presidential candidates, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Amy Klobuchar, who's from Minnesota, so she's taking from that plan, they all have some sort of zoning component in their plan. Now, whether or not any of those are ever going to really happen, who knows? But it's becoming a statement of purpose that this is not sacrosanct anymore, and that alone is a major change from just 2 or 3 years ago. I feel like you kind of got to open the conversation before anything really happens.
Interesting, the housing is still pretty much regulated on a local level. I don't know if there's that much you could do kind of in the office of the White House, so to speak, to change this overnight. I don't know if something like that is coming. But I wonder, too, how much of this in California is because of, well, and to be fair, rent control that Bernie Sanders has talked about taking nationwide and doing something like that. And also, and this is a little esoteric, but not to Californians, Prop 13. I mean, the way that that sort of traps or keeps people in housing and doesn't really pave the way for the next generation of homeowners seems to contribute a lot to this.
Well, as a major Prop 13 beneficiary, I have mixed feelings about it. But no, I think actually, you know what the real hidden thing about Prop 13 isn't so much that it traps people in it, although it does that too. It's that it makes cities hate new housing because they don't get higher taxes from it.
Interesting.
So you look at Palo Alto. Palo Alto is where a lot of tech companies are based. They have 4 jobs per every housing unit, which is way more than even, like, say, Manhattan. But they are financially incented to do that because the commercial property returns a lot more than the residential property, which is not the case in New Jersey, where I'm sure you pay high property taxes.
Yep.
And so what we're seeing is sort of this skewed incentive